Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. It's beautiful to see your faces. We just allow a few moments for everybody to come in. And we welcome also those who will be watching the recording afterwards, who couldn't make it. Welcome. So for those of you who are new, my name is Petra.
And I'm Anna.
You'll see us soon a little bit bigger in the screen, but for now it's this. So we have founded Mary Magdalene's Mystery School, and yeah, you get to know more of us when we move through this webinar.
Yeah. So on the program tonight, so that you have an idea, just a moment. Oops, there we go. We will do a short alignment. Then we'll talk about what is a mystery school education and how it's special. It's not like a normal education. And then we'll speak to the process of going from the first level foundational program to the second foundational program to the training in Magdalene Alchemy. We'll speak a little bit about the new Earth leader, the qualities of a new Earth leader. And then we'll go into some detail about the program, which is presented in 8 modules starting in September. So...
And then we'll have a Q&A at the end, right?
Yes.
So please keep your questions. If you have them when we talk, we'll first want to sketch the entire picture and then we'll get to the Q&A. But first, we want to invite you in a small alignment to come together as a child of the living sun. And you see here a beautiful text, from the foundational program, actually. And just maybe you want to read it before we go inside. So in the sphere of this beautiful small text, I invite you to take a moment to fully arrive here in this space. And maybe you want to close your eyes for a small alignment with the field of tonight, because also a webinar in a mystery school is something that works through resonance. So take a deep breath in and out. And just bring all of your awareness in this present moment. Just let go for this webinar of all the thoughts that may be circling around you from yesterday or tomorrow. Just let them circling where they are, but come back in your centered self, in the space of deep silence, in the part of you that is eternal, has always been there, will always be there. And in this space, you may remember that you are a beloved one, a child of the living sun. You may even experience the living sun inside of your heart space. Feel the resonance of this space. And from this space inside of you, we invite you to connect to the field that is here. a field of expectation, a field of new beginnings, field of joy coming together. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. And while keeping your focus in your internal sun, you may slowly open your eyes and refocus your eyesight into this space with all the other beautiful people that are here today, specifically to learn from our mystery school education and the beautiful program that is awaiting us. And we are really excited to talk about it. We've just closed the cycle of the first foundational program with a beautiful group of people. And we feel the flow of moving forward into the next layer after our summer break. But first, we would like to open a little bit about what is actually a mystery school education, because though we may remember this deeply inside of us, it is within our Western society still a very new way of educating. So we want to say something about that first so that we have the context clear in which all of this is happening.
Yeah, so a mystery school education is really about learning how to live in deep alignment with your soul. And it teaches you how to remember who you truly are beyond the roles you may play, and how to navigate life from a place of inner wisdom and connection to something greater than just your individual small self, which is also infinite. So rather than just giving you information, it's about direct experience through meditation, energy work, and sacred teachings. You learn how to open to and work with multidimensional consciousness and to cooperate with many different kingdoms, both that are existing here on our planet and beyond in our galaxy. And these different kingdoms often exist in the subtler realms, subtler planes of existence. And we do this for our own learning. We are eternal souls, ever learning new things. And we also learn in order to transform, because we are continuously evolving with the flow of life.
It's like getting a manual for your spiritual evolution and being lovingly guided into becoming the truest, most powerful version of yourself. We cannot say this enough. And this is not just for your own sake, but it's to serve the world in a meaningful way. And in so doing, you can then contribute to the new energetics that are the basis of the new earth. And our mystery school is a place where your soul and its highest possible sovereign expression is contributing to the expansion of human consciousness. So through your process, through your yes, your contribution comes into this field, and we're building it and we're really anchoring it.
Yeah, it's really the ultimate purpose of our school is to make conscious the potency in you, the gifts and wisdom that you have incarnated with, and to help you channel these gifts into the world for the betterment of our world. So this is really about accessing the deepest part of the mystery within you, which by nature transcends false and limited conditioning, and it is ever expanding. So knowable and unknowable.
Yeah. 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 So an education in our mystery school is about providing you with spiritual knowledge, a context from traditions and from other times from across our planet, and with practices and meetings with others. It's really a space in which your direct experience can be understood and held within a larger field of spiritual knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, sometimes people have experiences, don't they? And they have no idea, no context to understand these experiences. So this is really a context, an education where those direct experiences actually fall within an understood framework to help us navigate these spiritual openings that are happening so rapidly in these times.
Yeah, it's really, it can be seen really as a training ground for you to anchor in deeply to your authentic and your unique soul path, into the truth of who you are as a divine human, and to be able to apply in the outer world then the principles and the codices learned through this education. So to take your place as a divine soul contributing to the betterment of our world. And I'm sure that all of you are here hold that deep, deep, deep dream in your heart. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'd like to say a little bit about the first foundational program and how we will be evolving into the second foundational program. So in the first foundational program, we outlined the structure of a new way of being in relationship to oneself, to each other, to all of life. And we set the foundational stones for how to live peacefully in our full, sovereign, multidimensional nature, how to live in unconditional love, and how to stay connected to the field of infinite possibility.
Yeah. There's a whole wisdom behind it, but we keep it on this level for now, because these facets that Anna is mentioning are really the basis for any really new earth creations. And that's really what we're in the moment of really bringing into the world. So we outlined these principles, which stem from natural law.
Nothing new there, but we're remembering the old.
Yeah, we're remembering. The foundational program 1 is also called Remembering Your True Self. So it says it in that. And then the participants, they studied and they practiced them to grow their consciousness of how they create reality internally and with each other. And this is not, though the word may seem like a foundational program, it's for beginners, but the group who have said yes already to this path are really experienced people in many ways already. And they deepened their experience in many ways. And through this program, we introduced a higher dimensional framework for perceiving the infinite potential of an unlimited reality, because that is the thing we're really bringing in, the understanding and the deep knowing of the infinite potential of an unlimited reality. And we alchemized limiting perceptions of reality that we were or are used to. And then we remembered and anchored in new levels of our multidimensional selves. And that opened a whole new reality,
Timeline.
a whole new timeline.
Many people said that they had shifted into a higher timeline during this process, which is beautiful. So now in the second foundational program, we will go into a deeper understanding about the promise of this time, the promise of our personal prophecy of full awakening and contributing to bringing illumination, coherency, and boy, do we need that in our world, peace and prosperity to the planetary collective field. So individually and collectively, we will move through modules of study to connect with specific realms of consciousness, to support our awareness of these realms, and to deepen our knowledge, our wisdom, and our internal multidimensional creation power. So as with the first foundational program, there will be a balance between knowledge given, individual exploration and healing processes, as well as collective sharing and group metaphysical study. And by metaphysical study, for anyone who doesn't know that term, we mean spiritual study of the realms that exist beyond the five senses, because there are many, 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 many realms that exist, and with which we can cooperate, create new things.
Yeah, and then the second program that we're running into soon will bring everyone further into an understanding and an activation of his or her own unique soul fragrance and the importance of this uniqueness. To be fully aware of that for the creation of the new planetary civilization that is based in what we call the one heart consciousness.
Yeah, and if anyone is new here to that term, the new planetary civilization, or is new to us, then this is something that we know is being built for the future. So this is a civilization built in the divine mind, stemming from the divine mind and the divine heart, and yeah, but it has conditions. Yeah.
It's important that we say yes and we move through with dedication to a full individuation process in ourselves and a full anchoring of one's sovereignty. Because without it, we're not able to advance the project of this planetary civilization, if you like, or another way of saying is to create the new civilization, which requires, we cannot say this enough, each and every divine sovereign soul to be a foundational stone. We all hold a part of that, and we cannot say this enough, and we keep repeating it until the end of times. Yeah.
Yeah, so we will be deepening the inner journey by strengthening our inner solar light and activating pathways of wisdom that lead to embodiment of the Sophia Christ consciousness. Together, we will be weaving a new field of awareness, each of us a unique thread in the tapestry of awakening. And as those who have done the first foundational program will attest to, we create a very strong egregore or collective consciousness that then really affects the human consciousness field at a planetary level, because the engagement is quite intense and we can actually engage at any level we want, but the deeper the engagement, the more possibility for change and the more possibility to affect positive outcome in our global planetary sphere.
Yeah, and we want to say, and it needs to be understood, and we understood it also deeper and deeper as we move through the process, that both foundational programs are a basic requirement for building the inner clarity and the stability to be able to practice cosmic alchemy, to come into this practice of miracle consciousness, which is the next phase of our mystery school program after the foundational program. So both the first and the second foundational program are necessary to then continue to the next level, which are the advanced teachings that will be starting in January 2026. And then also the practice, it's the advanced teachings and the practice that we start in of Magdalene Alchemy. And then as well, after that, the teacher training in the final year. So we do have a solution for those who have not yet followed the first program. We'll come to that in a moment. But first, we would like to introduce two beautiful beings here in the group who have, within the foundational program 1, facilitated the metaphysical study groups, but they've also participated themselves in the program. And we really would like to give them, just for a short moment, some space to tell their experience what it has been for them. So I see, Lisanne, you've raised your hand, so I hope that everybody can see you. So maybe you can unmute yourself, Lisanne, to share a little bit.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I want to share a little bit, a little reflection on the foundational one. A few points I have that I wanted to emphasize. And first, what stood out for me in the foundational program one was the strong intention that was set right from the beginning. It wasn't just a mental framework, but this intention created an energetic field that shaped the whole journey. So that was very important. And I experienced that my own intention began to live me rather than the way around. So that was a really new experience for me. Second was being part of a conscious egregore, and Anna already mentioned the word. The egregore, the field that we created with the whole group, that changed the themes that were familiar to me, but that landed in another way for me. And what I experienced in this foundational program is that the egregore holds something greater than the sum of the individuals. I realized that I, more than I did before, that I had to experience and find my link in the whole, but that there was also the egregore that worked because of me. It's difficult to explain, but I heard from other people also that when they couldn't follow the program, they experienced in their lives, in their daily lives, that they were part of the egregore and that intentions were flowing and were living. They lived their intentions. So that was really beautiful. And then the metaphysical study groups, it was really an opportunity for us to get into that and to able to lead them. It was for me a field that we often forget to tap into. So the knowledge we learned in the program, the themes were combined with the wisdom of the information field we tapped into, and that was that was very beautiful. Also very new to do it together. So it wasn't a study group like studying and discussing, but also together be in silence and ask the field for the information we needed. And that was really beautiful. And it's, I'm very happy that I had the chance to experience that. And then the last insight I had is that there was a linear program. And a lot of us in the program were thinking, it's going too fast. But at the same time, when people didn't catch up, they realized when they got into the growth program again, that they were busy with the themes in their lives that were in the program. So that was one thing. And the other thing, we have to learn that things come in the divine moments. And so, yeah, that was a little sharing of my part. Very beautiful.
Thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah.
Anna Maria, you would like to unmute yourself?
Yeah, for me, it's about expanding, grounding, and centering, being more grounded, more centered, and more expanded. And that comes through the knowledge that is shared, and that brought clarity in words that we use and that I found before rather vague or too big to grasp, and that are now became much more clear, so I can embody them and use them in my life. So that's a very big difference for me now. And also the tools the transmissions, but also the breathing that help to put things, to do the practice and to do it. My intention was to create a daily practice. And I had this idea that it would be a very structured practice, but it's totally different. It's doing practice in daily life, together with on a certain time do a transmission or a journaling or do the inner work. But it is really became part of my life, something like that. A last thing that I want to mention is the start of the study circles was rather, let's say, intuitive. And then the name metaphysical came up. And in the beginning, I had something like, oh my God, what do they mean? And can I do that? But it was such a beautiful process in opening up to the unseen world, to the unseen reality, and more experiencing that this unseen reality is real and that I can communicate with it. And just by doing it, it opens up more and more. So in that way, I feel that I'm grown on so many levels. Yeah. Something. Yeah.
That you mentioned.
And not to forget to do that in such a in a like, I don't say like-minded, but like focused community. How rich that is and what an abundance that brings, that even if we sometimes use different words, we are doing the same things. And that for me it's yeah. Before I still said like, I'm not sure if this is my community, and now I know I fooled myself, and I'm very happy with this community.
Thank you for that, Anna Maria. I'm so glad it's, I want to say that in a mystery school, studying in a mystery school in this way, there is a linear path, like you say. So yes, there's module 1 and then there's module 10 in the first program. And it holds, I think, 350 pages in a workbook. So it's a whole encyclopedia for the rest of your life. And yet there is no time involved. In a way, you really pick and choose the themes that you're ready for and you want to explore. That's, I think, the beauty of studying in a mystery school, that it can be intuitive and that you'll receive exactly what you need to receive in these processes, because it is one of our biggest dreams. And I think we all feel that we are practicing the direct relation with Source, with God, with whatever we call it for ourselves, that we have a direct relationship and that there's no authority figure or whoever in between, that beautiful sacred relationship. And that's what we are also, in a way, practicing all together.
And the beautiful thing also about the group coming together is that the deepening of one person is the deepening of all. And that's just a really beautiful thing to witness. So a new field is opened and revealed through the process of each and every single person that participates in the process over a period of several months. So really, it gives an incredible opportunity to make a quantum leap in our consciousness.
Yeah, and in that way, we feel each and every one in this field that we are holding also when the program is running. We work in the program and outside of the program with this process. And there is a beautiful element that we see rising in each and every one. And that is about inner leadership, or whatever word we want to give it, soul leadership. Because in these new times, we do need the leadership in whatever form it comes from all of you. And the qualities that we are training with in the school will lead to that you're your own sovereign being, so that we can all contribute to the creation of new earth in our own unique ways. And I mean, we know that the leaders that are required in these times and the times to come to truly build this civilization we're so also looking forward to seeing on this planet, They will have remembered how to think, speak, and act according to natural law, to the law of oneness that is so close to our hearts. And yeah, we see, let's say, a spiritual awakened leader is someone who leads from the heart and soul, not from the ego or the need to control, but from a really deep place of aligned wisdom with a multidimensional wisdom and care. And whether this is in a family or a workplace or a bigger community, if you are this leader, you create a sense of trust and groundedness from a deep knowing that all is connected and that we all hold an important piece of the human family, and that all is embedded in this incredible field of pure love, in a way, where all creation rises and we're all part of. Yeah, so I mean, these kind of leaders don't tell people what to do. They don't come with the authority that we may have been witnessing the last 100 years, or maybe even longer, thousands of years.
I was going to say more like
Yeah, so they walk their talk, yeah, because it comes from the inside out, and they know the significance of what they share, and they embody their teachings, and they lead by example because they're tuned into something greater. They're always of service to their soul purpose, and their choices tend to reflect what is good for everyone and not just a few or not just themselves. So and
that will be a really welcome world, I think we believe.
Yeah. and in uncertain times, they bring calm, and in their presence they activate a deeper soul memory for all who cross their paths, yeah, just by being who they are. And when people feel divided or there's a division, what one way or the other, they help to bring people back together.
Yeah, so
and that's what we need, right?
Absolutely. And it's not about being perfect. And it's really about being real, about being present, authentic, connected to a deeper understanding that we are interconnected with a vast web of life, not only on our planet, but in our solar system, in our galaxy and universe. We move a little bit more into galactic consciousness and being a galactic citizen in this next foundational program, which activates your leadership skills, which are uniquely yours, connected to your soul architecture, the design of your soul. And the way that that leadership manifests in the world is actually very, very unique to you. So we are going to...
Yeah, we want to say, because we know there are people here who have not attended the first program. And we mentioned that it's important to really anchor the entirety of the foundational programs 1 and 2. So we have opened the opportunity for those who have not to still step into the foundational programs. And but it requires self-study for a big part of that. So we advise in a way to register for those rather earlier than later, to be present to the material of the next program. So though you can really move into this foundational program 1 material in your own pace, it's available for you. There will be no live sessions, there will be no extra live facilitation, but you can use all the material that we have collected in the Foundational 1 program through self-study in your own pace. So the coming summer period is a perfect time for that, but there is no need to finish it before we start with Foundational Program 2, but we do recommend to finish it before the advanced programs start, which is in the next year. And as we said, there may be themes that you will naturally be attracted to that really need your attention, which is fine, and other themes may come later. This is a school of life. This is not like, let's say a traditional education. So, but it is important to become conscious of the materials, of the content, and how it relates to you as a sovereign being. and using all of the embodied knowledge as a codex for the advanced programs.
So that we're all really speaking the same language, and the information in the first two foundational programs is so vast that actually these are workbooks that are best printed and put in your library for reference materials for your life for the years to come, so that they can be referred back to in times when things may be bumpier, because as we move energies, shift energies, transform energies, there are bumpy moments. So these foundational programs also serve to make us as stable as possible, so that we can build the power to move larger energies.
So those of you who have not yet participated in Foundational Program 1, you'll find all about that. Also, the pricing can be found on the website too, and then you will get access to the material of the first program while you are able to step into the live program beginning of September. But we'll come back to that soon. First, we're going to talk a little bit more about the content of the foundational program, the modules, and to explain a little bit more about the process. As you can see here, and also when you go to the website, to the specific page, the web page about Foundational Program 2, you can go a little bit deeper behind for each module, what you'll find there. But of course, it's still a summary. So we go a little bit deeper here. You can see that the first two modules are really focused on the solarization, solar tradition, everything around that. We will move with you through the solar Christ consciousness, the traditions as we know them from many angles of this world. From all around the world, people have always been connected to the consciousness of the sun. We'll go deeper into that. We're also talking about what is the sun. There's different names about the suns that we will touch on and explain. So we'll go really deep into all the various traditions and what the treasures are from these traditions of their wisdom of the sun and how it can support our development of consciousness, because that's in a way what it's all about. But also in the solarization process, which is a process we will go through when we open our awareness and we open our consciousness to new areas, we will really move into the role of solar codes, the photonic light, what is the Sophia crystal's path, because that is connected to the sun. How to embody the divine solar essence, what is the process, biology of light, and the mysteries around solar consciousness. There is the solar crisis awakening, the heliogenetic transformations, phoenix initiations, solar grill mysteries, and I can keep on going there. It's really super interesting, but it's also, of course, embedded in the transmissions that we have received in our channel to be initiated ourselves in this solarization process, because this is the knowledge base that I'm talking about, the explanation to be conscious about, but the transmissions are the path to the direct experience, and also the sharing in how to receive all these solar influxes into our unique system. So there's a whole, combination there.
Body of knowledge.
Of knowledge, yeah.
Yeah. So then we will move into the third module with etheric helpers from the earth realms. So many of you are already working with the elemental kingdom. We will be speaking to the mineral kingdom. What are dolmens? How do they work? How do stone chambers work? What was their function? Menhirs, standing stones, all these structures, these natural temples that have been used around our planet for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Stone circles and the crystal people, who so many are in connection with these days. And then there's the animal kingdom and the consciousness of the Druids, the Merlins, the Merlinas, these consciousness fields that are becoming more and more available and opening as these different portals open and as our vibration rises, so that we can meet certain intelligence fields that we were not able to meet before. So, and in this module also, of course, ascended masters, those masters of light who had human bodies like we have today, and they learned all the difficult lessons that we learn as well. And they've stayed around on our planet to help us learn and evolve, and also to be able to help in this major ascension process of humanity that is happening right now. And then in module 4, we will move into work with our cosmic helpers, and there are so many, but a few of these benevolent helpers from the cosmic realms are angels, of course, the angelic host. Some of you who have been with us longer know that we collaborate with the Ophanim, the Elohim, the Seraphim, the Cherubim, and many healing angels. Then, of course, the archangels. And then there are the cosmic lions who have been in our field very, very, very strongly since the beginning of this channel, this school opening. So we will be speaking to the Lion Kingdom, the return of the white lions, something about the feline humanoid Lyrans, and these lions who are guardians of solar wisdom, courage, nobility. We have a very, very long history on this planet with lions. They were maybe the first inhabitants of our planet. So there's a lot to learn there, a lot to say, a lot to connect to. And then another group that we've been working with for several years now are the Intergalactic Order of Sphinxes, and various galactic beings that you probably already know, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, beings from Orion, and the Arcturians. We work a lot with Lord Melchizedek and the Great White Brother and Sisterhood. El Morya has been extremely strong with us in creating this program. El Morya, who is really the head of the Shambhala community, the community of spiritual masters, who is organizing the ascension of humanity in these times, and various galactic councils. So that will all be held in module 4.
Yeah, then we go to the solar cycles and consciousness around that. The topics we will be touching here on are the solar cycles and the yugas. So where are we in the greater scheme of time, if you like? We will talk about the role of the sun and solar in the astrology. That will be a subject, the age of Aquarius, the gnosis connected to that, and the sun in a personal horoscope in whatever tradition. And then we will be talking about the process, which is picking up on the first modules of the solarizing of our inner sun and the activation of the divine mind. There is a strong space for the white gold ray that has been really specific in our channel since the beginning, which holds a very deep connection to oneness and unconditional love. That will be a process, and we feel like a medicine for current times that we'll be working with.
This really important ray, which is connected to the consciousness of the central sun of our universe. Yeah, which is becoming more and more available to us. So we will be going deeper into that consciousness, and that consciousness will surely be amplified by the collective moving through this program.
Yeah, and then, so there's something more, there's more themes that we'll be touching on in that module. But in module 6, we will be in the first phase of putting our toes in the water around alchemy to start to bring in a short introduction around alchemy, the history of the alchemical traditions, alchemy in the ancient mystery schools, because it's always been there. There's a whole in-depth study there that we will share with you. We will move through the stages of spiritual alchemy, the 3 stages. We will talk about the sacred alchemical feminine energies and connect to those beings who have been really leaders throughout history, as far as we know so far in this work.
And some of the tools that have been used in alchemical schools over the millennia, that these spiritual tools, like working with vibrational frequencies, but also sigils and etheric distillation. So there are all kinds of spiritual tools to be made conscious of in our times, to be used again, to be brought back into our toolkit.
Yeah. And then we will move into a first exploration about miracles as spiritual science. And we'll go deeper into that, what the examples are, what it is that we can touch on. And it's really a first beginning to go into the world of alchemy.
And then module 7, the divine human. We, in this module, will start to touch on galactic citizenship and also development of the cities. The cities are spiritual powers that naturally open and activate when we are on a spiritual path. So we will speak to those and rising our frequency into a higher level of sovereignty, a energetic self-sufficiency, and moving into resonance as a new creative norm. Learning that to create from a totally different consciousness than what we have been used to in our world. So we will speak to a little bit how we design our reality through our perception. And so when we are wanting to change our reality, how we first need to change our perception of reality. And of course, there's a whole skill set and tools to incorporate and use in order for that to happen.
Which we will explore all together.
Yeah. So there's a whole physics of perception. There's all kinds of theories. There's very interesting science behind how we perceive our reality. It's fascinating. So we will dip into that. And also how this connects with brainwave frequencies, binaural beats, isochronic tones, how light and sound machines support these shifts in our awareness. And then we move into interdimensional awareness, and we speak to what are dimensions actually, and what does it mean to be an interdimensional being or multi-dimensional being, and what does it mean to cooperate and create with multidimensional forces.
Yeah, and connected to that also parallel timelines. We probably hear a lot about that lately because we experience them also in forms of simultaneous realities that we create, that we heal, that we work with.
Mm-hmm.
So that will all be part of that module.
And what I love the most about these processes is that when we are numerous in focusing our attention in one of these areas, then that area starts to become more present in our experience of life. And so it's as if we put something out of microscope, and that thing, let's say a parallel reality that we are putting under microscope, starts to become more present in our daily life. And then we share about that in our metaphysical study groups. And it's a wonderful process.
Yeah, and it will bring a whole new layer of consciousness into your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and then of course we will be talking about intergalactic portals, which we work with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave it for here because there's more to say about that module, the divine human. But we end the program with becoming a galactic civilization here on Gaia Earth.
Which is really the promise of our civilization, to come back into, to reclaim our role actually in our galaxy, because we've been isolated for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And as we heal and we become whole again and we become peaceful again, we're being incorporated back into galactic life.
Yeah, we're reactivating in a way the memory and that realization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be different subjects there about prophecies that have been brought into our world around this galactic civilization. We'll talk about galactic DNA, the diamond body. We talk a lot about that, the quality of the diamond body, about different galactic civilizations. And then also, yeah, the connection with what this means to us. You know, we are often hear about star seeds. Many of us have come in from different places in our galaxy or even beyond. And we will be working with that and get a greater understanding of that and bring that back into our reality.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to talk about. We'll talk about the Twin Flame Temple, Orion, the Melchizedek Temple School, and the Temple of the One Heart, which is very specific for our channel. And we know that's going to be really important for all of us as we move into our power of alchemy.
And as always, when we go into this material, what we discover is that we often have soul assignments that we are carrying out in many parallel realities. And this is what becomes very interesting, is that we understand ourselves. We begin to understand ourselves in a much more complex, very rich way than the 3D reality that we have been living in for so long. So all of this is the promise of this time together.
As we said, you know, you can read about this on the webpage, not to the great detail that we share it here, but you will also receive the recording of this webinar, so you can listen to it again, because there's a lot there. And as you can imagine, again, we will be studying all of these pieces as we move through it, and we'll take the themes that speak to us the most to work with. So here a little overview of our certification programs. We've started last January with Remembering Your True Self, the first program that is still available. And now we're dipping into Activate Your Divine Humanity, which the platform will open on the 26th of August with the first emails your way. But the first gathering will be in the beginning of September. So that's when we start together.
And it will run until the middle of December.
Yeah. So what's included in the program? There will be 8 modules with all of this content, original from Mary Magdalene School. There will be 8 live gatherings there where Anna and I will be present. There will be metaphysical study groups with Lisanne and Anna Maria as facilitators. There will be exploring and sharing in breakout rooms as we meet in the live meetings with all participants of the program.
This will be every 2 weeks, our live meetings together from September through to December.
Yeah. And we do have a private online educational platform where we can share, where we can connect. And there will, of course, be a deeply supportive environment for all of our spiritual emergence for each and every one of you. So this gives you a small glimpse of the beautiful workbooks that are coming your way when you step into the program. On the left side, you see how it looks like. Those are workbooks you can work with, you can write in if you want to. And on the right side, you see the platform, which both is accessible through your computer devices, and there is an app, so that it's also easy to access with other devices like your phone. So we're starting really with the live sessions in September. So here are a little bit more details. September 9 till December 9, that's easy. The platform opens on August 26th, also the first email your way. Then we will be meeting on Tuesdays, which is 8 p.m. Paris time. So just for those who've done the first program, that was on Wednesday, these live meetings on the second foundational program will be on Tuesdays. We will be recording those 8 live meetings, but we will not record the breakout rooms.
One thing to say is that normally this time slot is works for the Americas, which was our intention. So if you're living in North America, then we hope that this time slot will work fine for you.
Yeah. So if you subscribe to the foundational program too, you will get also immediate access to our online program, Apotheosis of the Inner Waters, which you can study anytime you want. And there will be also available 2 New Frontiers workshops, one on solarizing the divine human and one on the galactic citizenship. So that will come with the program. Then the price is a price that's probably known from the first program. The regular price we will be offering this program will be $18.99, but as this is the first that we do all together, we have this $14.99 as the price to start. For those of you who are a member in our membership community, there is a €100 offering discount, and there is a payment plan option available. And as you go to the website, there will be a possibility to send an email to us to ask for the possibilities of the payment plan. So I think that's enough from our side. We love to open the stage for your questions, for anything you would like to share, and we'll see if we can answer those. Thank you for your attention and your patience. So if you would like to say something or ask something, please raise your hand with the raise hand button at the bottom of in the Zoom screen, and then we can see you and you can unmute yourself.
And if anyone from the first foundational program, if you are a participant in that program, and if you would like to contribute any of your insights as well to this webinar, then of course we welcome that.
There's no questions? No? All is clear? Angela, you're raising your hands? Yeah, go ahead, Angela. Yeah.
I was just wondering how long, because I didn't do the first program, how long would it take to do each module in the first program and sort of running alongside, obviously, with the second program? I'm just wondering about, the extra study time and everything.
I think the ideal way of doing it, Angela, is to do the first foundational program over the summer months. Not necessarily to finish it, but to take that time for that. The purpose of the first foundational program is also that everyone is aligned on the codex that we are stepping into all together as we move into the alchemy and creation processes. So yeah,
I would really recommend that you look at the program not in the most traditional way also, Angela, because there are participants in the first program that said, I could do a year about module 1 or module 2, because you can go in so many layers, in such a depth on a subject. And that's why we feel that you say yes to a program in this moment, yet in a way you say yes to a lifetime of study and having material to come back to when themes rise. So yeah, feel the space in that. Yeah, there's such a richness there, but it's not like a traditional school book that you need to one by one need to know all the definitions, but you need to be aware in a way of the context of the themes that are brought there. So that's important, and that it anchors in your system so that there is stability at the end of the whole program. Yeah.
Does that answer your question? Or
yeah, I think some of it might overlap with different healing modalities that I've learned in the past. So if it does overlap, then I can maybe sort of you know, just skim through that more quickly, maybe, and get on to the next module, so that I'm sort of up with everyone else for the second module.
Well, I mean, there's also a whole learning process, which was also in the first program, for all of us who are used to study in a specific linear way, that we had to let go of that.
Yeah,
If there was a big calling on a theme, then we needed to be there.
Yeah.
And we're all of us are not like real beginners, so we do have already some kind of a backpack of experience and knowledge, which we need to honor also. Yeah, so we can just relax in that also. It should be joyful, Angela.
Yes. Sounds good. It sounds really lovely.
Yeah. Judith, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
So I understand then Foundation 2 will be September to December.
Yes.
Correct. What were you talking about that starts in January?
When we showed the overview, we were just showing the overview of the 5 levels of the certification program. So last January, we started the first program. In September, we will be starting the second program. And as of the next year, January in 2026, we will be going into the advanced programs, the advanced Magdalene Alchemy programs.
Okay. I'd like to comment too. I took Foundation 1, and I have a background of 40 years in metaphysics, so some of it was not what I felt was maybe necessary, but what happened and what I found happened was it kept me in a field, and I've come to understand my perception of where I was before I started the program and where I am now has so much coalesced together into what I call my field, which is our field. And I got that, which for me was quite enormous, by taking Foundation 1. Like you said, some things are already known, some aren't. But it was the fact that every time I came into Foundation 1 to work, I was in a field which was personified inside of me daily, whether I was thinking about it or not. It was in there percolating. And that, it goes back to more than one, it comes in my name. But it's something that I think that for those who are thinking about Volume 2 or Foundation 2 and whether they should take one, it is so beneficial and deep in so many ways we're not aware of. And it gives you the support to expand in ways you're not even aware it's going on. I've come to understand, I work with children who are trying to pass over, and there are many these days. I thought I was only working with them in my physical everyday life, but I work with them when I'm sleeping. I pass over many when I'm sleeping that I'm not aware of at all. And I'm very close to the elemental world. I love my crystals. I'm getting back into wands again for the power that the extra oomph they give me for the work I do when I'm awake. So things happen and they're kicked off or that button is pushed, and there's so many buttons to push that I wasn't even aware of. Yeah, and this has all come from being in Foundation 1. So I thought it was important to pass that along to those that are thinking about it. It's a lot of money. I understand that. But the payment plans work real well. And it's so worth it. And I want to thank you for all you do for us.
Thank you so much, Judith.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you brought we've heard it from a few people in this kind of direction, which is beautiful in this field where everything is accelerating at the moment and the consciousness is landing, and We have some beautiful experienced people in the program, like you and some others who've been with spiritual schools for so long. And they, through the process of holding this container together, it started to manifest in reality in ways that we could not have imagined before, which is a gift, absolute gift for all of us that this is happening. So thank you for all the work you do, and thank you everybody actually for all you're doing. It's really amazing to
Thank you.
have this. It's so beautiful to feel the collective energies starting to amplify, and that we can all bring this beautiful diamond to the table that we are. Yeah.
And this conscious creation through the collective, as we move through these processes, we're realizing more and more and taking more and more ownership about our creation, about our reality. And we hold, in a way, we hold each other accountable to that creation, which is wonderful because we don't have the luxury of snoozing off and forgetting that we're the creators of our reality. In the same way, when we're in a program like this, we kind of have to show up to be who we are.
And there's not even one reason why we shouldn't.
That's
so.
So
having
true.
said that, if there's no more, there's Sophia, Oh, yeah. We have Sophia and 3 people on the couch. Yeah.
So for people, I was attending the first foundational program, and for the people who are thinking about if they will have enough time to digest the whole program, first part before the second starts, I would like to share my experience, because in the beginning I was also a bit scared if I can schedule in my life this program, since I have a full job and other duties and so on. I do a lot of things, and I was not a bit anxious about this, but my experience was that the material, what was presented, was very easy for me to go through, although I have no experiences before with spiritual schools, so I was not so educated, and it was what Anna and Petra said, that it's a purpose kind of to make a spiritual dictionary, because also some words were kind of totally new for me, but still I felt it was not a lot of time to digest the material, the written texts. They are very easy for me to receive. And the meditations I was very much familiar to, because I was already doing this in the school in the last 3 years. But I also wanted to share this, that my experience was that it's so helpful to really go with the flow of the modules in a row. So many people share that it's very good to just stay with some modules and not hurry to catch up with the others. But for me, it gave a lot to catch up always from week to week and stay with the rhythm of the every 2 weeks a new module, because I also experienced this egregor, and the energy field was presenting the topics all the time. And since I was already there in the energy fields, in the topics, then the material and the meditations were just supporting all the processes, and it made it easier to go through the processes. And it was already in my life in the field, and the given written text and the meditations will really give force to go through the processes and to build the foundations. And also the foundation program was for me very important, because the foundation of my true self was a kind of blocked in some ways, especially I think for me the work with the ancestors. I received a lot of help and a lot of support, and this expansion field, what Judith said in a beautiful way in a sentence which I cannot recall now, but to be supported, to feel more extended or be able to extend more, that I experienced a lot of solving of before impossible things for me. And because some ancestor topics were so much not in the light, or I couldn't connect with them because I had no informations from family lines, for example, or about ancestors. But this field, the energy, really helped me to solve the connections or attachments or traumas. So a huge amount of work was possible in not a huge amount of time. And really, I think it's easy to go through with if we keep up to say yes to this, to being in this field. And I'm sure that even the first part is closed, but this egregore or the container still exists. So if someone is plugging into that, then it's still working the same way, I assume.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Zsófia. I also wanted, as you were talking, I realized, I think that you are one of at least 4 or 5 people that have found a new home in the time that the program ran, which I just realized now as you were speaking.
Yes. New home, new base for in many ways, not just in the material world, but with my soul really anchoring more in my body. So new home on the outside, but the body was, and Anna Maria was talking about the embodiment as well, that the true self embodied, because our true self is always there, but if it's here, it's more and more here.
Thank you,
Thank
Zsófia.
you.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you like the linear path. That's also good to have that option in the air. Okay, Vera, Henk, and Corinne, I think. Who's
Yes,
going to speak?
but I
Henk.
pressed the button. So I don't have the need to say so much more, as already said, but the 3 of us, but including me, we did the first program as well, and after a little while, I melted, because before I recognized the fear of it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money, it's an investment, and could I have fun with it? Could it be nurturing me? And I would like to add to all what's said that the texts were all written for me. When I read them, I always thought, well, in a way, I always wanted to know this, but it's not easy, but it's so pure and it's so related to me that it was a miracle that I could relate to it. And I don't like the words, it's easy said to say, well, it's life-changing, but when I'm honest, I feel there is really a change after saying yes to the program. As really, my life has changed for things that I couldn't even hope for, that I could realize as this in my life. I'm so happy with it. So there is for me no way to not going on with this program, because it's in a way it's so important and so necessary to make the world another place than it used to be, and we always thought about it. So I can recommend to step in anytime. Just saying that.
Yeah. Thank you, Henk.
Thank you, Henk.
It's a joy to witness.
Yeah, this is the privilege of experiencing the group going through, is that it is the biggest gift that we receive, actually, to see the transformations taking place. And we're so grateful.
Yeah, and different thing also start to appear. There are people within the program who found a buddy to work together, from all around the globe. So one in Hungary or one in Romania and one in Canada. And then I see the three of you sitting there in your local community. I know you do a study group because you have the opportunity to have a few people living close by. There's all kinds of people looking for each other. There's others who do it in a more hermetic way. They stay more in silence in their own way because they prefer to study like that. And then they come into the circles and the study groups. So there's all kinds of ways also evolving that suits the person best to receive what it is that you're ready to receive.
Judith, do you have something else you'd like to share?
Yes, I wanted to say, I forgot before, if there's anyone else that works with children passing over, needing to pass over, needing to move on, or adults, I would really appreciate if you contact me. I put that request out with the school when I first started a couple of years ago, and there didn't seem to be anybody. But if there is, please contact me. I have never found anybody else that does it. So anything and that would be helpful, I'd appreciate knowing about. So that was all I was wanting to say.
Thank you. We'll bring it also back into the membership community, I think. So, because I know there's really few people connected to the work with children. So I think that's...
These children are there's such a need now, much more so than when I started 30 years ago, just much, much more. But yes, anybody that could help would be appreciated. Thank you.
We will take that with us, Judith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to come to a closure now. Anybody who's watching this later, if you have questions, you can always send an email to info@marymagdaleneschool.com, and we'll answer your questions to the best to our possibilities. But there is a website. Our website, marymagdaleneschool.com, has in the menu, you'll find the foundational certificational programs where you can read all about it. Yeah. Susan, can you unmute yourself?
One last word before we end. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah.
There. Okay. Yes, I would like to, two things. How long would each session be in the new class? Is it an hour?
It will be the same as the first foundational program. So every 2 weeks, we will meet for a 1.5 hours. And then there will be additional metaphysical study circles.
Which are optional, huh? So we recommend them, but they're optional. Yeah.
And the other thing I want to say is that this is very, in one way, personal, but in another way, not. My friends who know me very well did not understand why I took the first class. They said, you already know that. Why are you taking it? Every word you said today tells me why I should be taking the second class. I am totally ready for it. I love every word you said. It completely resonates. It's where I am and where I am moving forward. And I feel so happy to have signed up for it because I'm ready. Thank you so much.
Susan,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
we feel so grateful for every committed yes, not because we do the work, we do our parts, but it's a collective work. It's not just, it's not just a regular offering. It's really a collective call that we send out into the world for those who feel the resonance. So if you feel the resonance, you're very welcome. We thank you for being with us, and thank you. And we send you our love. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. And
we'll see you again soon.
We see you again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.